plenty more to play for this season. Plenty more. I think it's actually quite exciting, this period now, isn't it? It's the business end of the season. But what it does mean is that the summer is on the horizon, the summer transfer window, which means only one thing, that West Ham are going to be linked with every bloody player going, and West Ham are going to be in yet again for another striker, which is, it's remarkable, really, considering it just feels like, doesn't it, like Groundhog Day, isn't it? Every transfer window is the same. We're going to be linked with strikers, and West Ham want to look for a replacement for Antonio. It's just been going on and on. There's plenty of players we get linked with that you kind of, 50-50, not sure about, and it might work out, or not sure you'd fit our system. But when you link with someone like Ivan Toney, well, one, I think you've got to take it slightly with a pinch of salt, I think. I do think that's the case. I do think West Ham as fans, have to do that. I certainly am at this stage. But when you consider the actual player and his attributes and ability, I mean, he would be a perfect fit for West Ham and the way that we play. No two ways about it. Pace, power, scores goals. One of the most highly sought after strikers in the league, really, considering how well he has done at Brentford. This is a player, of course, that West Ham had the opportunity to sign when he was at Peterborough, and we didn't. We didn't take up the opportunity. One that we will be ruined, forever. I mean, really, really bad decision from the club. But according to reports, we are linked with Toney again. When I say linked with Toney again, we haven't really been linked with him properly before, a couple of times loosely. But there's a fair amount of noise now within the press. When I say noise, not firm, but the rumour mill sort of spilling around that West Ham are quite keen on Ivan Toney and could well be looking to make a move for him this summer. Be interesting to know if that's going to be feasible for West Ham. Bearing in mind, you've got to think of the fee it's going to take to get the player. Now, just having a quick look at his stats here. I mean, you look at his time at Brentford's unbelievable. The thing that could help West Ham is the fact of a couple of reasons. One, he's only got a year left on his current contract with Brentford. So that helps in terms of a price. And then you've got to consider his age. He's 28 years old. In fact, I'm going to look here now. Yes, he's only just turned 28, but 28 years old nonetheless. It's going to be very difficult for a player to be commanding an absolutely humongous fee. I don't really see that be. I mean, I saw that, not too long ago when he was being linked with Arsenal and things like that, that it'd be around the £100 million mark. He's not a £100 million player in my eyes. I don't think he's worth that. And that's no disrespect to the player. I just think that's fair. I don't, as I've said, for a couple of reasons. One being his age and the fact that he's only got 1 year left in his contract. But I don't think he's a £100 million sort of player. He's a very good player. In my eyes, he's 60 million pounds. I think that would be a fair price for someone like Ivan Toney. That's my general feeling. I might be being a bit harsh. But nonetheless, West Ham are being linked with him. Now, this video isn't necessarily to say, oh my God, I'm really confident, I'm so excited this summer we're going to be getting Ivan Toney. It's really not that. It's actually far from that. I don't sit here with any excitement at the moment because I personally at this stage can't be excited because I haven't seen enough evidence. And also we haven't had someone like ex-WHU employee come out and say, yeah, this is going to happen. He could well do soon. And it could well be that Ivan Toney is a target for West Ham this summer. But he is the kind of calibre of player that West Ham should be looking at, in my opinion now. If West Ham want to be considered a top side, I want to be competing with the top sides, vying it out for European places, etc., on a regular basis, then why can't we be linked with players like Ivan Toney? Why can't we be a club that can go, do you know what, we'd try and get you in? There's interest in him, of course, from other clubs, big clubs. But West Ham are going to need a striker this summer. We need one. And there's no reason why we shouldn't be ambitious. We always talk about ambition at West Ham. We always say, why aren't the club showing enough ambition? This would show significant ambition, in my opinion. I think it would really give belief that we are trying to compete. Because it's always felt for me that one of the key missing pieces has been sort of like a prolific striker. Most clubs would say the same. Let's be honest. Prolific strikers are hard to come by. They're very rare. Players that can play in the Premier League and score hatful of goals don't tend. There's not many of them around, and if they are around, they play for the top clubs. But you do wonder now where other clubs, in terms of like the likes of Arsenal, Chelsea, possibly, will be in regards to their interest in Toney. Because let's just get things straight here. Although Toney is a very good player, there are negatives to him, age being one. And you do wonder, with the likes of, let's just say Arsenal, for instance, if they're going to go in for a striker this summer, if they're going to spend big. Arsenal are a big enough club that can offer Champions League. Effectively, they've got the cream. They can pick, not necessarily get them, but they can go for really, really top players, and possibly players that have got a longer future. We can kind of see it when you look at Arteta's side, that he tends to go for younger players. Whereas West Ham, on the other hand, all right, not in that position. We can offer something. If West Ham can deliver European football again next season, if West Ham can put that on the table, i.e., whether it be Europa League, Europa Conference League, even Champions League, who knows? If we won the Europa League, I'm struggling to see that at the moment, but you never know. But let's just say, for argument's sake, we can even offer the Conference League. It's still a lure for someone like Toney to say to someone, look, you can come and play in the come and play in Europe. You can come and play in the Conference League. At least it would be a step up for him. Let's make no mistake, it would be a step up. And that's no disrespect for Brentford, but it would be. We're a bigger club. And as I say, if we can offer European football, and the other thing as well, he would know for a fact, if I go to a club like West Ham, I'm the main man. I will be the main striker. I will be leading the line. Can he get that offer at other clubs? I don't know. I'm not sure. And the fact is, they'd have more options available in terms of top players, these Champions League sides. It's just natural they would. So it could well be they've got eyes on other players rather than Toney being the top of the list. And then you look at the likes of, say, Chelsea. Chelsea effectively are on course here for a financial fair play disciplinary. They're facing trouble. They're a club that are desperately trying to sell their sort of homegrown players because, like Brozier, etc., and Gallagher, because they need to raise funds. Are they going to have enough money they're going to have a 60, 70 million pounds available for one player? I'm not convinced. I'm not sure. You can sense there's a lot of nervousness around clubs buying players at the moment. Whereas we know for a fact, West Ham are comfortably within the parameters at the moment of the financial fair play. We had money to spend in January. We had a lot of money to spend. And we'll no doubt have more money to add to that pot again in the summer. Bearing in mind, we could be selling Lucas Paqueta. That could be another 80, 90 million pound sale on top of the 80, 90 million pound that we've got sitting in the pot to spend. So spending 70 million pound on a striker shouldn't really be a problem for West Ham this summer. We should well be in our remit to be able to spend that sort of money. As I said, I'm not suggesting that Ivan Toney's coming to West Ham. I really don't. It's just an interesting story. And it's one that I like. I like the fact we're being linked. Just for that reason, just for the fact that, yes, we should be getting linked with these sort of players now. It shouldn't be really a pipe dream. Is it going to be difficult? Definitely. Ivan Toney's not going to be, we're not going to go in for a player like him and not have any competition. But if West Ham can get European football secured, it's an attractive move. London for a start, as well. He's got that opportunity as well to say, well, I don't have to move. I don't have to move my house. I can go to West Ham. It's not a problem. But it means that Europe is vital this season. And I'm just talking about in generally anyway, in terms of the targets. Let's just use Toney as the example. But if we're going to go for these sort of high caliber sort of players, then having European football is absolutely paramount. We've got to have that as a nugget. We really do. It's so important. What's very clear is Ivan Toney wants to leave Brentford. He wants to make the step up. I imagine he's got his sights higher than West Ham. That's my gut feeling. But as I say, there's not many clubs out there, let's get it straight, that have got that kind of money to throw on one player. There isn't many. You've got a few clubs that can do it. And I'm talking across the world, really. handful that can sort of go bang, here's £70 million on one player. There's not many. And then you consider these other clubs that can do that. Would he be top of their list? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It really is. But West Ham are going to have money to spend this summer. And if we lose Lucas Paqueta, which is a real possibility, then okay, we're going to have more money to spend. But West Ham will want to respond to that, I think, as a football club. If you're losing a player like Lucas Paqueta with that calibre of player that's so highly rated in the category of effectively world class within that bracket, the top players in the world, then they're going to need to respond in the right way. And they could be looking at this situation and going, do you know what? If we can get European football, we can table a really decent deal for this player. We could be able to lure him over to West Ham. It would be a significant statement. The fact we're being linked with him is enough for me at this stage. I like that we are. Do I think it's going to come off? I'm not convinced at this stage. I can't be confident because it's just too early. Far too much ago. We don't even know the situation yet. We might not be able to offer European football. If that's the case, then no chance. But I'll tell you what, if West Ham do achieve European football, then we are a really, attractive club for a lot of players. And one of those could well be Ivan Toney.